So you just finished your photo shoot and you've went through editing all your photos on Lightroom. You're ready to send your photos and you decide to use either a WeTransfer link or a Swiss transfer link or your Google Drive. Now, even though that is efficient, you're kind of missing out on a lot by doing so. First off, you're not looking professional. And two, there's actually a lot of money that you're missing out on. Now, for years, a lot of my friends have been using Pic-Time, and they're all professional high-end photographers. And they've told me about Pic-Time for a long time, and I just never knew how good it was until I had the chance to get my hands on it. Now, this video is sponsored by Pic-Time, but personally, I would never promote any software or any photography accessory, gear, any type of software that I personally would not use or don't see the benefit of. And in this video today, I'm gonna go through basically the basics of Pic-Time and show you how powerful this piece of software really is. Now, when I first opened up Pic-Time, it could be a bit overwhelming, but generally it is so simple, it is so streamlined. It's basically a river. It's a waterfall method. You just go straight from point A to point B to point C. Super straightforward. Now, the number one reason why I recommend using Pic-Time is to make yourself look more professional. The way that Pic-Time delivers galleries is so beautiful and so aesthetically pleasing that it is just way better than just sending a Google Drive link and being like, here you go, open up, download this. Pic-Time delivers your galleries in a very beautiful way, and it makes you look way more professional. Even if you just started out, it's just the best way to deliver your photos. Now, first things first, let's look here. So we have a new button right here that says New Client Gallery. Super simple, super basic. All you gotta do is hit that button and now, boom, you're ready. You name your gallery whatever you want. You go to set the date. You change the language if you want as well. And here's just a sample of what it would look like either on desktop or on mobile. You can even change the background, the text, and the logo. So over here, I have it set to automatically choose cover based on the photo, but you can genuinely just set to whatever you want pretty much, and you can just get different looks. I already do have a gallery set up, so I'm not gonna touch this. I already have one that I made. Obviously, it's called Elizabeth. That's my friend, which I did a photo shoot with, and Dash Mamiya is because I shot with the Mamiya 645s. You can see that it says 1 total views and 1 download. That is because Elizabeth, my friend, she opened up the link and she downloaded. So that's how you know someone already opened up your link. Super basic. Let's go through the same steps. Gallery name, Elizabeth Mamiya, the date of the gallery, the language, and this is what the covers look like. So now if people open up this on their phone, this is what they see, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So then you go to your photos and media, and this is where you can start basically just uploading your files, uploading your photos. I have 44 items in total, but other than that, you can also separate them into scenes. So when I went here to all scenes, all I did was obviously you click here, you download the uploader, which makes it much better than uploading just directly through the web because sometimes the internet connection is spotty. Once you upload all your files here, you can just set them and select a scene. Now I named this all scenes, which is basically everywhere we shot, and you can just click here and you can like check the photos, you can open them up. What you can also do is you can also separate stuff. So I said, you know, I'm gonna make a new scene called park shots. These are the ones that we shot at the park. And I'm also gonna make train shots because there was a train in this photo. So I'm just separating them, you know, organizing them. So think of this as a way, if you're shooting weddings, you can separate them by reception, cocktail party, ceremony. And that way you have a better way of finding your photos, or even your client has an easier way of seeing and finding your photos. One of the coolest features in this, if you do want to find something, so let's say you're in a wedding, you know, people are drinking or whatever. In this case, I have my friend. You have filter and AI search, and it is their own AI algorithm that they developed. And you can pretty much search for whatever you want, and you can search for it and it will find it for you. So I just wrote sunset, and based on the photos, you know, it checks, oh, look, it's golden hour. These are the photos that were taken around sunset. Now, if I do train and I get rid of sunset and it uses AI, and these are all the photos that were sorted by relevance, and they have a train in the background. They also have train tracks. So the AI was like, yep, train, obviously right here. You can set houses, delete this, just say house, and it will get you all the photos that have houses in the background. But you can also filter by vendors, by orientation, if it's landscape or portrait, media, if it's video, photos, or GIFs, even by scenes. So these are the scenes that I have, and you can just separate them. Super easy way to find your photos and find whatever you're looking for really quick, and your client can find that as well. Now, once you've uploaded your photos, you just go to your gallery setup. Now, obviously the occasion, there's several occasions: birthdays, lifestyle, live music, modeling, newborn. In this case, it's a portrait session. My security policy is just normal. It's not sensitive. You do sensitive if, there's some lewd photos in there, which I don't have. But it is a private gallery. It doesn't expire. I want to keep it here. I don't want it to get away. And you can find all your galleries in your homepage. That way you don't lose any of your photos. Now, this is one of the best features right here, which is request email before entering the gallery. And that basically guarantees you to get an email of a new person. So if your client sends these photos to someone else, family member or whatever, they have to insert their email. And that way you can grab their email and you can add them to your marketing campaigns, which we will talk about later on. But it's just a way for you to get more clients. And here you go, photo downloads. So you can allow free high resolution downloads, or you can even just disable that, and that way they can only get the web size. And once they get the web size for their socials, if they do want, let's say, the full size photos to blow up or print, then you can pretty much put that behind a paywall, and then they have to buy to get access to that. So once they send you whatever money, you can then just toggle this on and be like, hey, you can now download high-res images. But most people, because they just want social media photos. For me, this is my friend, so I'm just gonna toggle both. You can even add a watermark if you want. I did not do that, but you can also add your own custom music. I don't want to get copyrighted, but you can also add custom music, and you could be any music you want. And that way, when they click on the slideshow feature, the music is going to play, which is super fun and interesting. And over here, you can toggle the online store, which we will talk about in a tiny bit. But you also have price lists. We will also talk about those in a second. Go to automations and discounts. Now, this is where you can set it for a specific gallery. I toggled 3 of them, which are a Black Friday sale, anniversary gift, or an abandoned cart. And this pretty much what it does, because now there's a Black Friday sale, you can toggle this on and it will automatically send an email to this person, like a marketing email where it's like, hey, it's Black Friday, there's a discount, make sure to get your hands on this. After a year, it'll send a reminder 2 weeks before and be like, hey, remember this photo shoot that you did last year, or this wedding or whatever? 25% off if you want to buy these photos, or, keep these photos or print them. Abandoned cart, if someone adds it to their cart and then just abandons it, they can get 30% off. And that is sent the next day. You can change the dates, but I have it set to the next day. So if my friend decides to, I want to buy this photo and puts it in her cart, then it's like, you know what? I don't have the money for that. Abandons it. The next day she gets an email that's like, hey, 30% off, just buy it. You can also toggle all of these ones. There's an expiration promo. There's so many automations that are just made to entice people to buy and purchase, to help you make more money. So these automations will help you make more money, and I highly recommend checking them out. There's a bunch more automations that you can go through, and they are absolutely useful. Now, next thing is vendors. So what are vendors? What do we mean by vendors? Well, let's say you go to a wedding and you're networking, you're working, you meet the person who made the cake, so the bakers, you meet the person who did the catering, you meet the wedding planner, and a lot of these people, when you go to these events, they're going to ask you for their photos. They're going to be like, hey, can you please send us these photos? Is there a way for us to access these photos so we can use for our own socials? So the best thing you can do here is you can invite vendors, right? So you can add them manually, and you can say, okay, well, this person, you can add their contact, their email, their vendor type. So are they a wedding planner? Are they a florist? Are they makeup? Are they hair? Are they style? And this is one of the best ways to expand your network. So if you're a person who's looking to get more jobs, looking to get in touch with other people, want to sell more of your photos, this is probably one of the best, if not the best ways to do that. But if you do have the app as well, you can get your vendor registration link, which is just a QR code. They can scan it and then they can fill out their own information. So definitely worth checking out if you want to expand your network. You can rely on word of mouth, but a lot of people just forget. This is a great way for you to like add vendors, get their contacts, work with them in the future. And if they like what you do, if you, let's say, to take photos of the cake and the person who made the cake, absolutely loves it. And then she gets new clients and they're like, hey, we want a cake, but we still don't have a photographer. The person who made the cake can be like, hey, I know a great photographer. Let me get you in touch. Boom, you have a new client. When it comes to sharing, obviously, I have to blur this email out, but obviously you just put the email you send to the client. The photographer invited just means the people you invited, and there's also guest links that, don't let people download. And you can allow users to pre-register or request access, and then you can basically, it's like giving access on a Google Drive. I have to then give them access, which is a lot, so I don't really care for that. Now, what about workflow? Well, let's say you send a bunch of photos to your client and your client is like, hey, I really like this. Can you just do minor tweaks? What they can do is they can select and flag some of your photos to be like, hey, can you please re-edit this? Can you change this? Can you do that? And that way you can get your, changes straight away. And it also tracks what your client is doing. So it basically tells you, oh, your client has flagged this many photos for you to fix. So let's say you promise your client 3 edits max, and then they can, use this and select their photos straight away without being like sending you a list of file names. Album proofing, if you have your own album designs, not the one in the print shop here, your own album where there's like photos and videos, they can open up that album. So let's say you've made your own album, whatever, in Photoshop or any album creation software. They can open it up and they can also add notes to the side. So think of it as Microsoft Teams, where you have a shared OneDrive link and they can add comments on the right side. So it's pretty much the same thing. That way they can request design changes if needed. And dashboard is pretty much where you see the downloads, how many users visited, and your store sales. Now, speaking of store, number 2, why I really think Pic-Time is absolutely worth it, is the built-in store. Pic-Time has their own built-in store. They work with 30 print partners around the world, and you can genuinely print stuff without even lifting a finger. You don't have to even do anything. Pic-Time takes care of all of that, from the printing side to delivery. All you do is, these are auto-generated, so if you click here, you visit the store. These are the photos that I took of my friend. They have products such as calendars and matted frames and, prints and float frames and matted prints and everyday albums. And if you have photos of weddings again or any event, and people can hop in and be like, hey, I really want to create a calendar of our wedding day. And they can just click here. They can select the type, the size, the date that it starts on, the language. And then you can select the photos. You can add it to cart. You can see here it's $61 US. Obviously, there will be a cut taken, but you genuinely do not have to do anything. You have a print store, auto setup. You don't even have to do anything by yourself. So your clients can genuinely just go see the photos, and if they really love them, they can just buy that shoot as a book. And you don't have to do anything. You've just made extra money. It's there. It's an option. The gallery is always going to exist, so they can always go back and buy it later on. And that's where kind of also the workflow, the automations come in. So they get an email at the anniversary and they're like, oh yeah, it's on our anniversary. It's been like 2, 3, 4 years. Let's buy a book. They go to the store, they buy the book, boom, done. You've made money. You haven't done anything. Now, if at any point your order or your customer's order has an issue, there's 24/7 live support for you to contact. And they are super helpful. They're there for you. They're ready to help you out, whether it's tracking or something went wrong. You have 24/7 live support, and doesn't get much better than that. Now, the last thing that I do want to talk about in Pic-Time as well is art galleries. And what is an art gallery? Well, let's say you have your own website, right? You have your own portfolio on there. So this kind of works the same way. It's a way for you to add your photos, the ones that you love the most. And it is what it is. It's an art gallery. It's a way to showcase your portfolio, to showcase your work. And you can also sell prints through that. So people can hop on your Pic-Time and they can, check in your galleries. It's basically like walking through an art gallery where you can purchase what you see. and you can pretty much make a new gallery. You add the photos that you want, and it works the exact same way. You add the name and cover, you add the photos, you set up your gallery the way you want, the price list. Now, when it comes to price listing, there is a default price list, or you can create your own one, which I named here example. But you can create your own price list if you want to, increase the cost a bit, or you want to decrease the cost a bit. Whatever makes sense to you, you can customize it. So you're not bound by the price list given to you by Pic-Time. You can actually customize it the way you want. And then people can just go into your art gallery and they can pretty much browse your photos, purchase your photos. So instead of someone contacting you personally and is like, hey, can I buy so-and-so print or this photo? You can just directly tell them, hey, hop onto Pic-Time. Here's my art gallery. Walk through the gallery. Pick the photos that you want. You can buy them. You can buy them as frame prints. You can buy them as calendars. You can buy them however you want. It is up to you. And that way you just made more money. You can also customize it and change the style of your art gallery the way you want, the way you see fit. You can even custom style it with a background, title, and text. It's basically your portfolio with the ability of people to purchase. And because the store is built into Pic-Time, you basically don't have to do anything. For me, those are the three main reasons why I think if you're a professional photographer and you want to increase how much money you're making, you want to look professional, you want to grow your network with the vendor network, you want the ability to search for your scenes easily with AI, and you have a built-in store and you don't have to set up a website or a portfolio, all that exists right here. I think Pic-Time is one of the most necessary softwares that you can get as a photographer. And they do have a Black Friday sale that goes from November 20th all the way to December 1st. It is 30% off all their plans. So whatever plan you decide, whatever your budget is, they have 30% off. I highly, highly, highly recommend you trying it out because I've tried this out and I don't think I'm gonna go back to using any other WeTransfer or Google Drive because this is incredible. It's also a great way to not have expiring links, so your galleries will always stay there. They're not going anywhere, and you can access them whenever through your phone, and you can even download the photos yourself. Do check out Pic-Time. I will leave a link in the description below. Thanks again for Pic-Time for sponsoring this video and giving me access to this amazing software that I'm now going to be using forever. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.